Good morning, good afternoon, good night, everybody. Chem Nerd here on the Carbon Seed. Now look at this. We have village number 1 right behind me, right off the bat at spawn. This one appears to be a fishing type village if you have any fishing village plans, but that is not all. If we turn around 180 degrees, we have village number 2. Now this one is also really exciting at spawn because you have this little island in the lake. Now this lake does go into the river, but overall, if you want a village that can kind of already have that land bridge into your island, this is a great village for that. Now as we move from this village across the peninsula in the river, we have a jungle, this very deep dense jungle right here at spawn. We are now about 350 blocks away. Pretty much anything you can imagine can go in here. We have bamboo forest right on the other side. We also have some mountains, pretty small mountains though, right over there. However, if we come all the way over to the other side of this mountain range right over here, we have some more in store for you. Look at that. Here we go. We have village number 3. Again, this spot is pretty much ready to go for any sort of ocean build that you might want. We have nice open plains over here with a backdrop of these mountains. Pretty steep over here. We don't have a lot of entry into the caves. And if you thought that was it, I hate to break it to you, but here we go. We have village number 4 with another island in the middle of a lake. Now this one is probably better. It's a little higher, a little more land to build on. This village obviously has a lot of water issues, but again, this is village number 4 at spawn. So do we really care what it looks like at this point? And it also has a backdrop of some mountains right over here. We are less than 500 blocks from spawn, and we already have 4 villages. I think we should take a look what's underneath spawn now, shall we? So we are currently on village number 2 right here, and I went into spectator mode just so we can get into the ground real quick. It doesn't appear that there's great entryways if we come in here. The only reason to come down here is for this spawner right here. This spawner is a spider spawner, but if we zoom right on over here to the mine shaft that is right next to it, this is pretty much underneath the mountains, almost over to the village number 3 that we were at. We do have a couple more cave spider spawners over here. Okay, maybe we just have one. Looks like if we come deep down into another mine shaft, we have a double spawner right here, and that's about it on the spawners right underneath that village. This cave, it's large. If you have any large builds you might want, we are still pretty much underneath village number 3, I believe, just next to village number 3. Here's a 3rd mine shaft, I believe. This mineshaft has just one spawner that I can find, although when you come into this cave, look how beautiful this cave is with a multi-level mineshaft. Definitely lots of room to build. Village number 3 appears to have a good cave system underneath of it. We actually may not be under village 3. So the good cave system is actually about halfway between village number 3 and village number 4. But here we go. Let's go over to the 4th village. Check out what's underneath this island right here. Maybe if you want to put a house here or a secret entrance into a cave system, maybe there's something good underneath this. Everything is underwater, so not great until you get all the way down to the negative y coordinates. So if we come over pretty much in between 4 and 2, I know this is a little confusing at this point. We do have some dripstone caves right here, very large open areas. This is under the mountain. Let's take a look at this ravine, shall we? Because if we look closely, we have this massive hole right here, and it goes from the 60s in the Y, comes all the way down to minus 40 from the sky. This, let me tell you, this is a great build. When I say build, I mean this is just a good area to build. We have this massive 100 block tall cave. So much room. We can get rid of the lava. We can get rid of any of the water that you might need. And we have the dripstone. So overall, this cave is amazing. And it comes over here. We have an exposed geode right over here as well. So this cave system may be the best. Honestly, we are 500 blocks from spawn. Not even. Right, we're minus 389, so we're just on the other side of the village number 2. which we'll see in a second. Right there, village number 2. We really don't need to leave Spawn forever. Let's take a look at the big map. Looks like we might have something boring over here on the right side. Let's teleport. Tiny little windswept savanna, maybe a desert. This is technically a desert. This is not any beach or anything like that. And interestingly, we have this little oasis right here in the middle of the desert, and it's a mangrove swamp. Luckily, we have more mangrove swamp over here and a little bit more over here. This is pretty exciting. Again, we're about 1,000 blocks away from spawn at this point, but we have some mangrove forest. It looks to be pretty large. And then over here, another windswept savanna maybe, but we still have this desert. Oh, I think if I turn around, this is going to be beautiful. And yeah, it is pretty beautiful. Look at that. And this goes on forever. Oh, look at that. The more I load in, the cooler it gets. That almost looks like a lion. Don't you think? I think so. Okay, so we have another desert village right here. Definitely if you need sand. And we have more windswept savannas. This whole place is just so cool, and it looks like we have a ruined portal right in the middle of the ocean. Looks like we might have an ocean monument right here on the other side. I teleported from this bottom corner to the top corner. So that is exciting. We're at minus 700, minus 1,000, give or take a few blocks. And if you keep going, we're at minus 690, minus 1,300. We have those and more forest with some lava coming out of that. Right there. Very cool. You ever want a sky block? That island right there. One tree, just a little bit of sand, a little bit of dirt. That is a hard sky block to do. Overall, the seed is pretty much filled with everything. Now that we are back at spawn, I would just like to say thank you for exploring the carbon seed with me today. Pretty much 500 blocks from spawn, you have everything you might ever want. You don't need to go anywhere. 4 villages, a spider spawner, a couple mine shafts, some massive caves underneath. I think this is a great seed for carbon. With that, I would like to thank you, and I will see you in the next element. We have nitrogen coming up.